engagement ring my boyfriend bought for me. The initials of our English names are carved into it, J&J.
To get John chapter 6 verse 35 as your skiza tune, dial star 812 star 498 hash.
John 6 verse 35. Then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty.
To get John chapter 6 verse 35, dial star 812 star 498 hash. Star 812 star 498 hash.
Linda familia na marafiki dhidi ya magonjwa.
The UHC coverage journey is on. NHIF is working under the guidance of the Ministry of Health in the UHC Step Up, which presents an opportunity to secure Kenyans access to quality health services without suffering financial hardship. So take the bold step today and safeguard your families by enrolling to NHIF to ensure health for all.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Aquila sana yele mako. Inaishi Namanga. Wakati wa games tukikaa tu hapo na wanafunzi wenzangu tukicheza, nikaanza kusikia vizuri. Nikamweleza mama. Sasa mama akaniambia mbona ukusemanga? Nikamwambia niliogopa. Nikaenda na mama hospital, nikapima, akaona ugonjwa niko nayo. Sasa akasema heri upelekwe Kajiado. Madaktari akakuja kunitibu. Akasema Manda akaniambia utaenda kwa surgery. Walisema iko na growth. Nilienda kushughulikia hadi akaenda kutafuta NHIF juu mama tu anakuanga nayo, lakini ugonjwa mwenye nilitibiwa hiyo kadi ilinisaidia sana. Hiyo kama tungekuwa nayo sijui tungetoka hapo lini. Ningependa kuambia serikali waendelee kutuletea hiyo kadi ya NHIF kwa maana inatusaidia sana. Kila mtu ajitahidi na jikaze kisabuni ili waweze kudhibitisha na wapate hiyo NHIF. Ndio waweze na mtu akigonjeka juu siku yako kugonjeka na wewe upate hiyo kadi, ndio ukipelekwa hospital uweze kutibiwa.
Linda familia na marafiki dhidi ya magonjwa.
The 21st day of February 2022. 5 solid months before the general election. Welcome to KBC Prime Edition, coming to you live from Broadcasting House, right here in the capital city of Nairobi, Kenya.
And this 21st day, the world marks World Mother Tongue Day. Tom, how do you say hello?
In my mother tongue.
Mother tongue.
In my own mother tongue.
Yes.
Ivinade.
And how do we respond?
I don't know. How do you respond in Kamba?
In Kamba, you say Uvoa.
Uvoa.
Then you respond Museo.
Ah, Museo.
Yes.
Is there a link between that answer and your name?
And my name is Museo.
And my name is Mboya. And by the way, Mboya actually means prayer in Kamba.
Are you Kamba?
No, I'm not. But I'm Kenyan.
Okay.
You know, sometimes I wonder if mother tongue is forgotten, then value is also forgotten.
If you say so.
Buckle up. Want to give you a lot more stories coming up. But first, tonight's top stories.
Stemming hate mongers. Chief Justice issues 4-month deadline for dispensation of cases.
Debt ceiling. DP William Ruto now cautions August House as Raila Odinga promises better living for Kenyans.
World Sick Day. KNH seeks 2,000 beds in initiative to improve care.
And farms risk a fine of 1% of their revenue if found illegally sharing private data of their clients with third parties.
Many thanks indeed for joining us.
At KBC Channel 1 News, at Purity_Museo, at Mboya24, the hashtag is Prime Edition. Tell us, how do you say hello in your own mother tongue? And Wangeshi is our sign language interpreter tonight.
And the news begins right now. Chief Justice Martha Koome has directed that all pending hate speech cases to be concluded within the next 4 months.
Speaking in Eldoret during the inauguration of a new court complex, the Chief Justice asked heads of stations to identify all pending hate speech cases in their jurisdiction and have them dealt with conclusively within the given timelines.
Ben Chumba opens our coverage tonight with that report.
A number of hate speech cases currently pending in various courts across the country are set to be concluded before the August 9 polls, following directive by Chief Justice Martha Koome.
Pending hate speech cases ought to be concluded within four months from today, at least to give room for free, fair, and credible elections.
The Chief Justice, who was in Eldoret to lay foundation stone for a court's complex, demanded a progress report from each court station on the implementation of the directive within 3 months.
As heads of stations, do identify all the pending hate speech cases in your stations, and please work out modalities with the trial courts to fast-track their resolutions, because this goes on to build the confidence Kenyans have with the judiciary to deal with the problems that we encounter.
Koome revealed plans to gazette 119 names of judicial officers, appointed as special magistrates to hear and determine matters relating to offences under the Election Offences Act.
Botange our electoral processes by inciting violence and causing pandemonium should be dealt with family.
Following raised concerns over delays in hearing and determining hate speech cases, the Chief Justice said Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Eldoret and Nakuru are some of the hotspots designated areas where special courts will be set up. Last week, the Director of Public Prosecution, Nordin Haji, said over 50 hate speech cases were actively under investigations, calling on Kenyans for more evidence to help net the culprits. Ben Chumba, Prime Edition.
CJ keeping tabs on hate speech. 5 months to go to the general election. The Kenya Kwanza Alliance is now cautioning Parliament against acceding to the request by the executive to adjust the country's debt ceiling.
The alliance, led by Deputy President William Ruto, warns that the country's debt has reached unsustainable levels.
JJ Curia is on that story.
Meru lashed out at Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani, whom they accuse of borrowing beyond the debt caps set by Parliament, which is a violation of the law. The group claims Kenya's debt has ballooned post the handshake to unimaginable heights.
According to the National Treasury, the public debt has grown sixfold to Kenya shillings 11.7 trillion. 8.2 trillion as direct public debt and 3.5 trillion of guaranteed commitments as of February 2022.
The group now wants Parliament to reject any request from the executive for approval of a new 12 trillion debt ceiling.
The Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury should not sign any new loans, including floating sovereign bonds, during this transition period.
The Alliance have also thrown their weight behind a raft of proposals made to the budget estimates of the 2022-23 financial year by Kikuyu MP Kimani Ichung'wah that include the increase of a county allocation to 495 billion shillings.
We do not need a constitutional amendment to give more money to counties. The budget policy statement of 2022 has proposed to maintain the equitable share of the revenue going to counties at Kenya shillings 370 billion.
Other proposals made by Ichung'wah include a 50 billion credit scheme for the micro, small and medium enterprises, an additional 12 billion shillings for the operationalization of a judiciary fund in line with the constitution to offer the judiciary financial independence and autonomy, an allocation of 1.8 billion shillings to cater for the teacher professional development program, as well as an additional 5 billion shillings for fertilizer subsidy program. The brigade sustaining its criticism of Kenya's current fiscal policy, insisting it was unsustainable.
Na lazima tupange biashara ya kila mtu, ndio kila mtu tumuinue. Sisi tumesema kabla hatujapambana na mambo ya kubadilisha katiba na vyeo na mamlaka ya viongozi, wangoje kwanza tubadilishe uchumi wa Kenya.
John Jacob Kuria, Prime Edition.
Let's stay on that frame of politics. ODM party leader Raila Odinga is promising to lower the cost of living if he's elected president.
Raila was speaking in Lunga, Kwale County on the third day of his coast tour, said the cost of basic commodities is now beyond the reach of ordinary Kenyans.
And Buru puts that item into perspective.
ODM leader Raila Odinga and the Azimio la Umoja was in Mwangulu Market, Lunga, Kwale County on day 3 of the coastal tour. Raila says life has become unbearable for the common mwananchi as the cost of living continues to rise, promising to cushion Kenyans once elected president. Sentiments echoed by leaders who accompanied him.
Mimi naambia hao, mimi Raila Amolo Odinga nimeshakuwa waziri mkuu wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Najua pale pesa hii. Na mimi niko tayari kutembea na nyinyi tukomboe taifa letu, tulete mabadiliko kwa taifa letu.
Kama Ruto amekaa miaka 9 kwa serikali kama deputy president na ameshindwa kusaidia Wakenya kwa kurudisha gharama ya maisha chini, siawache nafasi sasa baba aingie ili asaidie sisi.
Raila distancing himself from claims that the handshake had created the current predicaments facing the nation.
Hiyo deni wao wamepandisha. Lakini sisi tuna dawa ya kutibu hiyo deni. Nimekuambia bwana Mudavadi kwa ajili ya haya maneno, wewe mwenyewe ulipokuwa waziri wa fedha ulipandisha hiyo deni. Wewe toka hapo kuna suluhu. Wacha baba na wajane waingie pale. Wataanza kuomba.
Wao ndio walisema ushuru uwekwe katika petroli. Ruto mwenyewe ndiye alisema hivyo. Leo wako pale Meru anasema ya kwamba yeye anatengana na hiyo maneno. Mungu hapa si mwongo.
He promised locals that he will find a solution to the perennial water problems they have been facing for years.
Shimba ama mabwawa makubwa. Bwawa ya kuvuna maji ya mvua. Wakati ile mvua inanyesha, tunavuna hiyo maji. Ili kama sasa kwa kiangazi imekuja, maji ipo kutosha kutumisha wananchi.
The Azimio la Umoja team will be heading to Taita Taveta County on Tuesday. For Prime Edition from Kwale County, I am Anburu.
Meanwhile, the Jubilee Party has launched a mass registration exercise ahead of the party's nominations and primaries. More than 2,000 delegates from 12 constituencies will converge in Limuru's Jumia Conference Center to push that agenda.
Members have vowed to rally the electorate to vote in Jubilee aspirants in the upcoming general election. Timothy Kipnusu reports.
As the National Delegates Convention for the Jubilee Party nears, party leaders from Kiambu County have put their foot forward to ensure it's a success. Addressing hundreds of party supporters in Limuru, Kiambu County, after launching the mass registration exercise for its members who will participate in the party nominations, Area Governor James Nyoro said the party was now rejuvenated to face their opponents.
Tuingie kwa hiyo azimio tukiwa na strength, tukiwa na majority members, ili sasa sisi tuwe na uwezo wa kuongea katika hiyo serikali.
Nyoro revealed that President Uhuru Kenyatta will visit each county after the NDC to rally support for the Azimio la Umoja Brigade and ensure it garners support in the upcoming general elections.
Ametuita tuende NDC, tutaenda tusikie, na sisi yeye ni baba yetu. Ile njia atatuambia tufuate, tutafuata, na hiyo tumekubaliana katika mkutano wa leo.
Na tukienda international level, vile Mheshimiwa Rais ndiye mwakilishi wetu.
Chama yetu ni chama ya Jubilee na kiongozi wa chama yetu ni Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
The governor at the same time announced that he will be defending his seat, urging Kiambu residents to give him a fresh term to serve them.
Na mimi ningetaka kuwauliza vile tumekubaliana leo, ate tunasema Nyoro 5 fresh.
Elsewhere, the Jubilee Party has launched an aggressive campaign to popularize the party within Nakuru County, targeting all the 11 sub-counties ahead of the party primaries and the August polls. Speaking while hosting a number of aspirants and grassroots youth from Nakuru Town East, Jubilee Party Nakuru branch chairman James Karimi revealed that the exercise is also meant to highlight President Uhuru Kenyatta's successes in a bid to popularize Jubilee's support and increase its chances of bagging more electoral seats.
Tupange nyumba yetu, hata hiyo ODM wamepanga nyumba yao, na sisi tupange yetu ndio tuende pamoja. Na kwa nini tumeharibu nyumba yetu?
Sote lazima turudi kwa nyumba moja, Jubilee, ndio tuweze kuendelea na mikakati ya maendeleo katika taifa letu tukufu.
Ni vyema wajisajili kama wanachama wa Jubilee. Tunajua kuna watu ambao wamekuwa wakitumia data, wamekuwa wakichukua data ya vijana ovyo ovyo, na wamekuwa kimisuse, wanawaregister kwa vyama vingine.
Tumekuwa na misururu ya mikutano ya kuweza kukiamusha chama cha Jubilee ili ya kwamba kiwe ni chama imara.
Timothy Kipnusu for Prime Edition.
And remember, it's the World Mother Tongues Day.
Absolutely. Tonight we ask, how do you say hello in your own mother tongue? Kenya Daima is saying chamugay.
Missing.
Freddie Mayo Yamune. And then we have Kisoi Samuel Nayu, that's Kamba.
Yeah.
Simon Javan Koro. Which one is that?
Koro is from Kavirondo.
Okay.
From
Then
Tanzania.
Denokameni Nayu, Levi Momanyi Nayu. I said your own mother tongue, not my own. Keep tweeting. I'll be going through your feedback during this bulletin.
Okay, I like that one. Let's take a break from politics and see how the World Sickness Day was marked. Kenyatta National Hospital will carry out a week-long blood donation drive alongside COVID-19 vaccination to mark the hospital's Patient Week.
The week is set aside to sensitize caregivers on the need to embrace a patient-centered service delivery.
Well, the hospital has been undertaking the Adapt a Bed campaign that seeks to increase its bed capacity to 2,000 through donations, as Nancy Okware reports.
The Kenyatta National Hospital Patient Week kicked off on Monday, with health professionals urged to exercise empathy while dealing with patients under their care in order to achieve a patient-centric culture. During the week, the hospital will be undertaking activities such as blood donation drive by caregivers and their families, COVID-19 vaccination, alongside diabetes screening.
Let everybody know that you are holding that patient. Let everybody know that that patient got healed because you just gave the care and just spoke, even just speaking alone. The way I've given you an example, I only just spoke to a patient, and the patient kept on looking for that voice who spoke to me. It is that voice that kept me.
Ingawaje matibabu ya kansa ni matibabu ya ajabu sana, ambapo saa zingine tunafika huko tunaambiwa twende tupime damu, labda hatuna pesa, lakini naomba tu mkaweze kuwa na hiyo roho ya kusaidia. Tukikuja hapa mnaweza kutuongelesha vizuri, mnatupea roho, mnatuambia kwamba tusikufe roho, tutapona.
The hospital management also taking this opportunity to urge members of the public and people of goodwill to take part in the Adopt a Bed campaign that seeks to increase the bed capacity in the hospital to 2,000 and replace old beds to ensure the patient's comfort.
That encourages Kenyans to donate beds that will make our patients comfortable as they continue to receive treatment at KNH. This campaign, I must report, has gained a lot of traction of late, with many Kenyans wanting to play a role in it.
Our bed occupancy still remains above 100. This is not always a good thing, because the patients will come and not find a bed. And therefore, we are doing our best to actually make the stay of our patients comfortable.
Since the campaign kicked off late last year, the hospital has received over 63 beds. The KNH Patient Week comes days after the world marked the World Day of the Sick, that is set aside to cultivate a patient-centric culture. Nancy Okware, Prime Edition.
Well, that story brings us to our first break. And before we take the break, there's Rajesh who's watching us from India. He's saying, in his Hindi language, they say, Aur kya haal hai?
Tike.
Tike, which means fine.
Fine. Keep tweeting.
Keep them coming.
Keep telling us how you say hello in your own mother tongue. We are celebrating World Mother Tongue.
I'm kind of enjoying it, you know.
You really are.
I mean, this is the era when, you know, young kids cannot express themselves in mother tongue.
Do you know your own mother tongue?
Did I just say that? I'm very fluent.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I made sure.
Let's take the break now.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Nabonga na watoi kujua mambo za online, pia na create time wafanye vitu offline. Tungeni gadgets na sites wana use, msiwache strangers wapate chance kuabuse.
Nimeshindaje pesa kompe sija participate. Unadai info yangu na ikwe private say. Identity yangu haupati hautumi. Vitu zangu ni zangu na bado nitazishikilia.
Una post story ati ni real news. Mimi sikuamini mpaka nione sasa hizo vis. Una text online to me tunanifeel. Staki jokes mimi nitakureport for real.
Wazazi, watoi na maithu wetu. Don't be fooled. Get cyber smart and enjoy safe entertainment and education online.
The Communications Authority of Kenya. Mawasiliano kwetu, nguvu kwako.
The government of Kenya adopted universal health coverage, UHC, as one of the big four priority agenda, with an aspiration that by 2022, all citizens will have access to quality healthcare services that they need without getting into financial hardships. Don't suffer in silence. Visit the nearest healthcare facility and access affordable healthcare services that are now offered under the universal health coverage benefit package delivered through NHIF. For those who can afford, please remember to pay the monthly contribution of 500 shillings. The government has put mechanisms for assisting those who cannot afford to pay. Register biometrically at the nearest NHIF office. Your family's health matters to us. NHIF. Leave no one behind.
Log on to the KBC website at www.kbc.co.ke to get the latest breaking news, entertainment, sports, politics, lifestyle or business trends from Kenya and around the world. Never miss new episodes from your favorite TV shows, reruns and movies. Just stream online or watch live on your YouTube channel at KBC Channel 1 TV shows. For the day's biggest stories, trustworthy news and family entertainment, log on to KBC Channel 1. Watch what you want anytime, anywhere.
There you are, straight into the corridors of justice, the door to the cell, holding self-confessed serial killer Masten Wanjala, now deceased, was not locked on the night he escaped from the Jogoo Road police station.
Police Constable Neville Mwambili told the Milimani Law Court Monday that the only main gate to the cells was locked on the night Wanjala escaped from police custody.
Constable Mwambili told the court that on the same night, the station was hit by a power blackout.
Of Deputy Officer commanding Jogoo Road Police Station and 2 other officers over the escape of the late serial killer Masten Wanjala began on Monday at the Milimani Law Courts. The first witness, Police Constable Neville Mwambili Mwashoke, told the court that the main cubicle where Wanjala had been detained was not locked and that there was a power blackout at the station before he finished his shift at 6:50 p.m.
The time you are handing over, there was no light. That is clear. What light did you use to hand over to him? For the mobile phones you are on. Mobile phones? That is true. Thank you. That's what I want.
Wanjala was there to take a formal plea in the murder probe, where he's linked to 14 murder incidents in Nairobi, Machakos and Western Kenya. Wanjala had confessed to killing 12 children when he was first arrested in July 2021. Elsewhere, Advocate Edwin Karwanda has been charged for allegedly stealing 1.6 million shillings from an Indian Rahim Kait Shah in a land sale transaction. He pleaded not guilty and was granted a bond of 500,000 Kenyan shillings or a cash bail of 150,000 Kenyan shillings. The case will be mentioned on the 7th of March for pre-trial directions. Serafina Robi for Prime Edition.
Now, on the 25th of December 2021, that was Christmas, the world's most powerful space telescope, $10 million James Webb Telescope, was launched.
And Kenya would join in the celebrations after a signal was picked up by a ground antenna at a space center in Malindi.
Question: how does Kenya benefit from the space center?
Our reporter Serafina Robi traveled to Malindi and filed the following report. Here is part 1 of the 2-day series.
Located on the shores of the Indian Ocean, the Ligi Broglio Space Center started in 1962.
And the first activity started in 1964. Mainly the activity was only for launching from our platform.
It is an Italian-owned spaceport near Malindi, named after its founder and Italian space pioneer, and jointly owned by the European Space Agency and the Italians.
And liftoff.
The recent launch of the $10 million James Webb Space Telescope will propel this space center to the limelight when it captured the telescope's flight to orbit for close to 30 minutes.
The separation happened over us, okay? Malindi gives the first signal, and Malindi follow James Webb after separation for 6 hours.
This jolted Kenyans and the world into a frenzy.
Separation Webb Space Telescope. Go Webb!
The telescope, which is believed to be advanced with abilities to use infrared technology, will be used to explore an evolution of galaxies and how stars and planets were formed, as well as the mystery of exoplanets.
and the origin of the star of galaxies and dark energy, and see, this is what they declared.
The telescope was placed away from Earth's thermal glow, with the moon and Earth behind it.
Lagrange point L2, it means we are speaking about 1.5 million kilometers, 500,000 kilometers from the Earth. So it should, the telescope need 29 days to reach that point.
The whole world is anxiously waiting for the first pictures.
This period will take at least 5-6 months to calibrate all instruments and to be ready for scientific research activity.
According to a tweet from NASA Webb Telescope, the mirror segment deployments are complete. In a quest to understand more about the Malindi Space Base, we drove down to the nerve center of the action.
The geographic position is very important because we are near the equator. Okay, so all activities, all launching towards the equator, Malindi is very important because after Malindi there is Singapore. Singapore is far away.
According to the head of the Malindi site, Engineer Jaje Mokhtar, the center is in an intergovernmental partnership with Kenya.
Last ratification was by Kenya in 2020 and entered into force in December 20 by the notification of ratification by Italian government.
In 2020, the Kenyan Parliament ratified a deal that was pitched by the then Mboya Member of Parliament, Wilberforce Ochichilo, now Vihiga Governor, and using the multi-billion-dollar rocket launching facility. The agreement meant that Kenya will receive 25 million Kenyan shillings annually from Italy for the use of the land.
So it is high time the Kenya government took serious interest in space exploration. The rest of the development in the world today is going to be controlled from space. Even travel, you can see the richest people like Elon Musk and the guy of the Amazon. They have already put up companies that are manufacturing spacecrafts that are already ready to take people to space.
Furthermore, the 25 million shillings deal will be reviewed after every 5 years.
So they will be paying rent, $250,000 every year for the first 5 years, and then subsequently every 5 years that will be added $50,000 on top. We will have access to scholarships, postgraduate scholarships, establishment of a regional center for Earth observation.
Serafina Robi for Prime Edition.
Well, the second part of that series, Beyond the Earth, will run tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Keep it Channel 1.
Well, in this week's edition of the Cabinet, we focus on Nicholas Kipiator Biwott, who was popularly referred to as the total man by his peers.
Biwott served in the cabinet during President Daniel Moi's regime.
Our features reporter Richard Munga with the details.
In 1940, Kipiator Nicholas Kiprono Arab Biwott served as personal assistant to Agriculture Minister Bruce Mackenzie from 1969 to 1970 during founding President Jomo Kenyatta's administration. He then moved to the Treasury in 1971 as Senior Secretary under the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Moi Kibaki. Biwott would in the late 1972 be transferred to the Ministry of Home Affairs on the personal recommendation of President Kenyatta to work with Vice President and Minister for Home Affairs Daniel Arap Moi. Biwott, otherwise known as the Toto Man amongst his political equals during President Daniel Moi's era, joined Parliament in 1979 to represent KU Marakwet constituency on a KANU ticket. He retained the seat both in the 1983 and 1988 general election. In 1992, 1997 and 2002, Biwott was elected the Member of Parliament for KU South constituency. During his 28 years in Parliament, Biwott served in various ministries including as Minister of State in the Office of the President, Minister for Regional Development, Science and Technology, Minister for Energy, Minister for East African and Regional Cooperation, Minister for Trade, Industry, Tourism and East African Cooperation.
There were delays in releasing the list of the delegates. There was also a delay in releasing the badges. That took a long time, until late afternoon. We believe that that was a deliberate attempt to deny the people, the genuine delegates, an opportunity to vote.
In the parliamentary elections held on December 27, 2007, Biwott lost his Kaya South parliamentary seat to a political novice, Jackson Kiptanui Arab Kamai of the Orange Democratic Party. Biwott was named by Scotland Yard Detective John Troon as a person of interest in the 1990 murder of Kenya's Foreign Affairs Minister Robert Ouko. However, Troon's theories and the basis for them as to the motives for the murder were to be criticized, as there was no evidence to support the allegations that Biwott was involved in the death. On November 5, 1995, lawyer and politician James Orengo, while in a parliamentary discussion, coined the term Bull of Auckland in reference to Biwott, a jab emanating from an incident in New Zealand during the Commonwealth Heads of State meeting. It was alleged that while in New Zealand, Biwott had been forced out of a VIP hotel after making indecent advances towards a female worker. In his defense in Parliament, Biwott reportedly remarked dismissively, quote-unquote, "I am a real man, a total man," end of quote. Nicholas Biwott, aka Total Man, took his last breath on the morning of July 11, 2017, succumbing to complications arising from kidney failure.
Yeah, I can remember.
Total Man.
Total Man.
What else can you remember?
Auckland.
Right.
Well, that story ushers us into our second break. And
Karen Jenga.
Karen Jenga.
Stand by with the day's business news.
The day's business news.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Mundos divididos por una sombra de traición.
You're here because you're jealous.
Stop it. That's enough. Goodness. She's gone. My daughter ran away. Sandy, let me help you.
I said I can do this. Are you deaf or what?
Wait, where are you going?
Get out of my way.
Tell me.
I said
no.
Get out of my way.
I'm telling you that I want you to make me the happiest man in the world. Will you marry me? Lying heart.
Fue sembrando el veneno y la ambición.
Let's now focus on what has been making headlines in the world of business. My name is Carol Jenga, and we kick it off with data protection matters, where those sharing personal data with third parties without consent face a fine of 1% of their total turnover. Data Protection Commissioner Immaculate Kasit says the parastatal is registering data controllers and processes to facilitate the enforcement of the Data Protection Act.
The Data Protection Commission says registration of data controllers and processors is expected to be complete soon, ushering in implementation of stringent rules that are expected to regulate the country's ICT sector. Among other measures, companies infringing provisions of the Kenya Data Protection Act will attract a penalty of up to 5 million shillings, or in the case of an undertaking, up to 1% of the firm's annual turnover. Individuals will be liable to a fine not exceeding 3 million shillings or to an imprisonment term not exceeding 10 years or to both. The Data Commission is urging Kenyans to only give basic personal information to protect themselves from online exploitation.
Some of the information which you're being used by third party were information which were actually collected legally. And therefore, what we are saying, it's a high time institutions started being accountable for the information they collect.
This, as the Data Protection Commission is calling on Kenyans to notify the Data Commissioner within 72 hours of becoming aware of a breach and to the data subject in writing within a reasonable practical period.
Taking photography is not one of those requirements. It is just basically identifying yourself. So we will be able to guide the owners of buildings and also private security in terms of what the exact requirements are after we have had consultation with stakeholders on that particular issue.
This, as the government says, it will soon announce the second phase of Huduma number registration, despite 6 million Huduma number cards from the first phase that are yet to be processed and printed.
Checking with the government, keep watching this space. It will be notified with regards to when, the rollout in terms of operationalization of the utilization of Huduma card will be, given okay by the government. If you have not registered, don't worry. Phase 2 is coming and will be notified with regard to when it will be, started.
The Huduma number rollout has faced legal headwinds, with an appeal to a High Court decision declaring the registration illegal, scheduled to be heard on the 18th of next month.
Moving on, Kenya Power has embarked on a countrywide clampdown on illegal power connections that cost the company billions of shillings annually. The utility firm says Nairobi, Rift Valley and Kiambu regions are the worst affected regions. The company further says cases of transformer vandalism have gone down by more than 80% since the government banned the trade of scrap metal a month ago.
For years, Kenya Power has battled with the issue of illegal connections which cost the company billions in unpaid bills and power interruptions. Last month, most of the country were thrown into darkness after criminals vandalized a high-voltage power line that evacuates power from the 7 fork dams. This led President Uhuru Kenyatta to ban scrap metal business in the country. According to Kenya Power, the decision has led to an 80% drop in transformer and electricity pylons vandalism.
The major target for Nakuru has been transformers. In the last 6 months, running from July to December, we lost 43 transformers, Nakuru County alone. Putting that at 500,000 cost per transformer, we are talking about more than 20 million that we have lost in the transformers being vandalized.
Since then, Kenya Power has embarked on a major clampdown of illegal power connections and stepped surveillance of power infrastructure. According to the company, it loses over 200 million shillings every month in revenue in Central Rift due to illegal connections and vandalism of transformers and conductors. Kenya Power business manager in Nakuru County, Engineer Henry Pwani, says Naivasha, Nakuru, Njoro and Mai Mahiu have been identified as the most affected areas in the region.
Almost 60-70% of customers here have been given illegal supplies, either illegal or they bypass their meters, so they are not using power that is measured.
Pwani notes that the electricity bills in the Central Rift region stood at 1.4 billion per month, but there were 23% commercial losses due to illegal connections. Additionally, theft and vandalism of electricity supply equipment is an economic crime under the Energy Act, with minimum fines of 5 million shillings or imprisonment of 10 years or both on conviction. On vandalism, Pwani noted that between July and December last year, Nakuru County lost 43 transformers worth over 20 million shillings, leading to massive losses for the company.
About 60% of treated water is lost during supply of it that could be avoided with adoption of digital water tracking system that quickly flags burst or vandalized water pipes. Ruben Kogi, LEM Business Development Manager for East Africa, says analog water meter readers are easily manipulated and utilities should go with the changing times to ensure efficiency in water supply.
The pressure from rapid urbanization has seen illegal connections or vandals targeting the piped water infrastructure. Manufacturers believe most water piping systems are old and weak, paving the way for criminals to steal the finite resource. Digitization of the piped water systems would ensure that information from individual residences and institutions directly feed to the cloud and thereafter be translated onto the billing system, reducing the margin of error significantly.
And the services component is so critical because as we adding on digitalization, as we adding on better technologies, it's important that we can maintain these technologies at the right level so that they are optimal and they're always running efficiently.
They further state a digitization of the system would reduce cases of water poisoning, as the digital water tracking system would update water suppliers on the purity of water at every stage of treatment.
What we want to do and what we always do is to work with them in terms of developing initiatives that promote the responsible use of water.
Reporting for Prime Edition, my name is Ibak Said.
The Communication Authority of Kenya has urged telcos and smartphone manufacturers to ensure affordability to the Kenyan populace when producing 5G devices. More companies are embracing the 5G network, which is expected to have much higher speeds and capacity that allows files to be downloaded quicker. Details of this and other stories in our corporate briefs.
5G network is expected to drive the reinvention of several businesses and consumer applications. Vivo General Manager Shamsi says since 5G-enabled devices can send and receive signals almost instantaneously, individuals and businesses will have instantaneous communication with co-workers, friends or clients and not have to contend with dropped calls and poor connections. But the Communications Authority of Kenya is concerned about the pricing of 5G services.
We are eager to bond Vivo with you all closely, not just through humanizing product design and also innovation and excellent experience, satisfying the services and proving branding.
And I'm speaking to the General Manager of Vivo. You will now embark on research towards manufacturing of low-cost, affordable 5G-enabled devices for the mass market, so that for them to enjoy and be part and parcel of the 5G revolution.
Meanwhile, the Defence SACCO entered into a bank assurance affinity partnership with Housing Finance to provide insurance services to KDF personnel. The partnership will leverage technology to provide ease of access to affordable products in a timely and efficient manner to KDF personnel who are deployed far and wide. The Defence SACCO is optimistic that through the deal, KDF personnel will have improved morale because of their welfare is well taken care of. The SACCO will be the link between service personnel and Housing Finance and shall finance members in need of insurance. Finally, insurance company Britam Holdings says it is changing tact to focus on low-income earners, even as it marks paying 3 billion shillings in health and life insurance claims to underinsured customers since 2015. The company says low-income earners face the greatest risk of being affected by events such as hospital admissions, loss of a loved one, or business interruptions such as fires and theft.
Insurance penetration in Kenya is very low. It's in fact less than 3%. And the main reason is that majority of Kenyans, that includes smallholder farmers, small businesses, low-income families, have not really purchased insurance products. And this is the market that we are trying to address. These are the customers that we are trying to serve by coming up with simple and easy products with an aim to protect them against different risk events.
Reporting for Prime Edition, I am Teresa Mutai.
Well, and that is how we wrap up business news for tonight. But you can find more stories on our website at kbc.co.ke. Sports is up next with Richard Munga. Have a good night. My name is Carol Jenga.
Linda familia na marafiki dhidi ya magonjwa.
The UHC coverage journey is on. NHIF is working under the guidance of the Ministry of Health in the UHC Step Up, which presents an opportunity to secure Kenyans access to quality health services without suffering financial hardship. So take the bold step today and safeguard your families by enrolling to NHIF to ensure health for all.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Aquila sana yele mako. Ninaishi Namanga. Wakati wa games tukikaa tu hapo na wanafunzi wenzangu tukicheza, nikaanza kusikia vizuri. Nikamweleza mama. Sasa mama akaniambia mbona ukusemanga? Nikamwambia niliogopa. Nikaenda Namanga hospital nikapima, akaona ugonjwa niko nayo. Sasa akasema heri upelekwe Kajiado. Madaktari akakuja kunitibu. Akasema Manda akasema akaniambia utaenda kwa surgery. Walisema iko na group. Nilienda kushughulikia hadi akaona akaenda kutafuta NHIF juu mama tu anakuanga nayo, lakini ugonjwa mwenye nilitibiwa hiyo kadi ilinisaidia sana. Hiyo kama tungekuwa nayo sijui tungetoka hapo lini. Ningependa kuambia serikali waendelee kutuletea hiyo kadi ya NHIF kwa maana inatusaidia sana. Kila mtu ajitahidi na jikazi kisabuni ili waweze kudhibitisha na wao wapate hiyo NHIF. Ndio waweze na mtu akigonjeka juu siku yako kugonjeka na wao upate hiyo kadi, ndio ukipelekwa hospital uweze kutibiwa.
Linda familia na marafiki dhidi ya magonjwa.
Oh, good evening. My name is Richard Munga with a daily sports update. Now, Kenya Premier League side Bandari FC has parted ways with head coach Andre Kasambungo. The team has appointed assistant coach Anthony Kimani to take charge of the team until another tactician is appointed.
Andre Kasambungo has been sacked by Bandari FC. Bongo, who was appointed in January last year, was sacked due to poor results in the league, with the team winning only 6 games so far this season and lying 9th on the table with 26 points, 11 points behind leaders Kakamega Homeboys. Bandari will be forced to play Gor Mahia in their next fixture under Anthony Kimani. Kakamega County football team for players living with disabilities are the champions of the Gertrude Musuruve's football tournament. Kakamega defeated their counterparts from Bungoma 3-0 in the final. In the ladies' final, Malaika Mboya lifted the trophy after defeating other finalists Chekalin in post-match penalties. The event was organized with the aim of promoting local talent among persons living with disabilities, with Senator Gertrude Musuluve calling on county governments to organize more tournaments for persons living with disabilities.
Nitaendelea kusimama na nyinyi na sitawacha, sababu najua walemavu lazima wahusike. Nitaendelea kutetea haki zenu kila wakati.
The champions of the tournament walked away with 40,000 shillings plus uniforms and ball. For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Meanwhile, the road to Glen Eagles Johnny Walker Golf Series trod on at the lush greens of Kericho Golf Club, which hosted the 8th leg of the tournament. Over 100 golfers drawn from Kericho Golf Club and neighbouring Nakuru, Kisii and Kakamega clubs converged at the 9-hole golf course.
Home player Laimod Keter led his team of Kibeto, Joel Chabon and Ngetich Ignatius to emerge the event's overall winners, having carded a combined 115 points. Coming in second was the team led by Kericho Club captain David Biegon and comprising Edward Masiga, Wesley Siele and Chris Briggen, whose efforts returned a score of 114 points. Claiming the third and final qualifying position was the team of Eric Mutai, Julius Rono, Patrick Cheriot and Patrick Langat, who hit 113 points. Meanwhile, Billy Sambu scored 32 points to emerge as the men's category winner, 1 more point ahead of James Kabiru, who posted 31 points. In the ladies category, Elizabeth Ngenyi posted 3 points to claim the top spot, ahead of Elena Wamboi, who scored 21 points. In the longest drive challenge, Geoffrey Karaoke and Faith Chemutai were the stars in the men and ladies categories, respectively.
So first series coming to Kericho, we have been fighting for it, but at long last, we have gotten it, and I will be very, very proud to see my players winning for that trip.
The turnout has been really good. I can't even believe we're almost about to hit the 1,000 mark. So of course, when we started, the reception has been fantastic, and even more so now, I'm even getting more excited as we get to the semi-finals and finals and seeing who's going to make it out to Glen Eagles.
Focus now shifts the current country club for the 9th event in the series slated for Saturday.
Also, 4 more UEFA Champions League round of 16 matches will be played this week, with holders Chelsea continuing their title defence against Lille and Juventus travelling to Spanish side Villarreal tomorrow night. On Wednesday, Atletico Madrid hosts Manchester United, while Ajax Amsterdam will be away to Benfica in Portugal.
United and Chelsea both playing first leg encounters. Lille prepared for their game against holders Chelsea with a 0-0 draw against FC Metz. Ahead of the tie, manager Thomas Tuchel remains in doubt whether Cesar Azpilicueta and Hudson Odoi will be available for selection. The Champions League holders finished second behind Juventus in Group H. On Wednesday, Atletico Madrid host Manchester United, while Ajax visit Benfica.
Now, Barcelona extended their unbeaten run in the Spanish La Liga to 9 matches as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scored a hat-trick to help register a 4-1 win over Valencia. Also, after a dramatic 1-1 draw, Sevilla secured a point each with 14th placed Espanyol.
In one of the La Liga matches played last night, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang slammed in the opener on his first La Liga start in the Aubameyang added a third for Barca in the 38th minute, forcing a 3-0 half-time lead. In the second half, Carlos Soler pulled one back for Valencia. In another match, Sevilla hopes of closing the gap between them and leaders Real Madrid were dashed after playing to a 1-1 draw with Espanyol.
In the second half, as Sergi Darder headed home an Oscar Gil cross 5 minutes into the second period. Darder now scoring in back-to-back home games for Espanyol.
Well, now the EPL continues tonight. Just to mention the postponed matches. In match day 18, you have Watford taking on Crystal Palace on Wednesday. You also have Liverpool taking on Leeds still on Wednesday in a 19th round match. While still on Thursday, in the 20th round match, you have Arsenal playing one of their many game in hands when they host, of course, none other than Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Emirates Stadium. Well, that's it for sports. See you shortly.
Well, today was the International Mother Tongues Day, a day that marks the linguistic and cultural awareness.
I get to learn how you say hello with your own language.
But do you have some feedback?
Oh yes, a lot. Wesonga Wanda says Mulembe. I didn't know that was hello.
Yeah, Murembe.
Oh,
I think that's, yeah.
But it's written Mulembe.
Yeah.
Reading it. Zablon Esikuri, Mulembe Purity, Simon Simpson's Wimwega Purity. Then we have Mwaka Keveka Muno Ina Keveka, Edwin Ngeno Chamge.
Music.
Kwa Kikale, Kalenjin. Then we have Kisoyo is saying na you it's Kamba also. It's another way of saying hello. Simon also Koro.
Yeah,
Koro.
Yeah.
Freddie Mayu Yamune. There's Yamune Chamuge.
Yeah, Chamuge.
Still one of the same thing in Kalenjin, yeah, and so much more. Joel, Koro again. Koro is
it's VP. Koro. Sasa.
Which?
Yeah.
Okay.
Luo. Yeah.
Okay.
K-O-R-O.
Chamgame, Kenya Daima, and then we also have Orua Otie. Yeah, Orua Otie.
I'm sure there are many,
There are so many.
So what we do as we wrap up, I just want to ask Richard, who, by the way, I don't know why you're laughing. I was wondering why you're laughing when you mentioned Wanderers. But how do you say see you tomorrow?
In my mother tongue, you say Tonane Rosio or Roshio, depending on which part of Kikuyu land you're from. Some say Rosio, others say Roshio.
Which one is richer?
I say Tonane Rosio.
Rosio.
Yeah.
You roll the tongue.
Yeah.
Like they do in Lakeside. Karonjenga. It's a rap. How do you say it?
Nuega mwiro already. Koma idhayo.
Hey! At least I've heard someday. Koma idhayo.
Hey, koma idhayo is good night, sleep well.
Good night, sleep well.
Yeah.
Purity Museo. What's the meaning of je ne sais pas?
I don't know.
You're right. That's actually what it means. We have to go now.
We have to. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of the entire team that made this possible, we appreciate your company. Purity Museo and Wangeshi has been our sign language interpreter tonight, Komanesa.
And by the way, it's a gender balanced team as we sign out. My name is Mboya. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow again. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Have a good night.